Hello, our little spooks.
I'm Kimberly.
And I'm Lexi. Welcome to the Guarded by Demons podcast, where we discuss all things horror.
Happy August, everyone. A new month brings new topics. And this week, listeners, we're discussing disturbing video games.
Yay.
Yay!
Fucking yay. God.
This is your fault because you're the one that picked this topic.
I know. My God. I know it's my fault, but we just got done playing Martha is Dead. And
yeah,
I was like
a couple months ago, and immediately, I think like the next day, you were like, hey, what if we cover like disturbing games? And I'm like, sure, okay, we'll put it on the list. And then now that it came to it, you're like...
That was before we finished Martha is Dead, I think.
Yeah, it was... I mean, we finished that in one sitting, so...
2.
Oh, 2 sittings?
2.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. I think it was the day that we, initially stopped.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. And you're like, well, what if we put, disturbing games on our list? And, well, here we are today. Whoops!
Good news is that, all of my stuff doesn't come from the dark web, so it's fine. And you can still buy all the games that I personally am going to discuss. And I do recommend some of them.
You can only buy one game that I am going to discuss on my list.
Oh my God. Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Oh my God.
I mean, technically you can buy the other one, but it's only playable on PS2. Unless you got a port.
Oh.
But, it's only available on PS2.
Jeez.
Alright, so do you want to start us off?
Yeah, I'm going to start off with 2 in particular because they're not technically horror games.
Okay.
But they are disturbing in concept.
Yeah, no, because this is, just, in general, disturbing video games, whether they're horror or not.
Yeah. So, firstly, I'm going to start off with a goodie because it's one of my most favorite games of all time. It's called What Remains of Edith Finch. Now, this game, I've watched and played it. I've watched people play this several times. I've played it myself several times. I could probably...
seen you play it several times.
I could probably, play this game in my head because I've played it so much.
Yeah.
But, basically, you're playing as a girl. She's 17. Her name is Edith, and her mom has recently passed away. And she left you a key and this ginormous house in her will for you. And the concept of this is that your family has a curse, supposedly. So you go on, set on their family, so several family members of yours have died under mysterious circumstances. I will say there is a horror sequence in this game, which is reminiscent of, because there's a narrator, it's reminiscent of Tales from the Crypt, and even some parts it's got the theme from Halloween playing, because it did take place on Halloween night.
Oh, yeah. If you're, honestly, you're a fan of horror, and you know the movie and TV show, Creep Show and Tales from the Crypt, that is very reminiscent of it. Yeah,
that's the only horror section in the game, though.
It is my favorite part of the game.
But... the reason why I named this is because most of these deaths, obviously not all of them, but most of these deaths are children dying.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. I'm going to give a warning right now. There's literally and again, it's not graphic or anything.
No, it's not graphic at all.
It's actually a very nice game with a very nice message at the end of it.
Yeah.
But there are children dying left and right in this game.
Yeah.
It's so
but
sad.
I mean, when I watched you play it, I think for the first or second time, I realized that even the adults that die it's still pretty sad and disturbing as a kids. I think the kids hit harder because yes, they are children.
Because they have their whole life ahead of them.
Yeah, but still the adults are still pretty sad.
Yeah, and a couple, one in particular, Lewis, he's one of the last stories you go through, because you go throughout your house and you go up, up, up. I have to point out that this house, and you'll know it when you see it, is partially on the side of a huge tree. It kept getting built up and built up and built up.
Yeah.
As more family members came into the home. But there's one later on in particular, Lewis, which I think is pretty heavy for some people because it does deal with unaliving yourself. But again, it's not graphic in any way. I think it's a pretty tame, disturbing game, but the concept of it is disturbing, which is why I decided to put it on my list. And again, one of my most favorite games of all time. I've played it countless times. I highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Just be ready. Some of it is really sad. A lot of it is really sad, actually.
Yeah.
Now, the next one that I'm going to talk about is also another very, very good game. But it is so sad that I've only ever seen a playthrough of it one time. I refuse to watch it again. Because it is so sad. This game is called That Dragon Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And this is based off of, like, the creator of this game actually based this off of solely around him and his family's experience with his son, Joel, I think was his name, unfortunately, being diagnosed with cancer, I believe, at 18 months old.
Yeah.
And it goes through the ups and downs of all of that, and it does not have a happy ending, unfortunately. It's a very good game. It will leave you emotionally drained.
Oh, yeah, no, it will.
It is a devastating... Like, I was so tired from crying after. I can't. It makes me hurt just thinking about it. Like, I had to put it on here because, like, there's a certain part in the game where you're in the hospital with your son and he's crying and because he's in pain. That's actual audio that he recorded from his actual son while they were in the hospital, and that was his actual, like, crying from being in so much pain.
Jesus.
And unfortunately, and again, it doesn't have a happy ending. Unfortunately, Joel did die at the age of 4, if I remember correctly. And again, I do recommend it, but it's a game where it's really good. You'll only ever play it one time because it's so sad. It is devastating. It is one of these. It is one of the saddest games, if not the saddest game I've ever experienced. Oh my god, I was so heartbroken throughout this entire time. And again, I don't like children particularly, but I would never ever wish this pain upon them or just distress upon children. I can't. It is sad.
It's too much.
It's way too much. I knew I had to, like, I heard so many good things about it, and I knew I was going to want to watch it eventually. Definitely watch it when you're in a super, super good mood, like when you're in such a good mood that it takes a lot for you to get sad. I guarantee you'll be sad anyway, but it's a heavy game. It's really... Ooh, shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, those are the first two that I have. I know they're not horror, but they are disturbing. What Remains of Edith Finch is probably the most mild that I have listed. And That Dragon Cancer emotionally is probably the roughest to me.
Yeah, again, like these games that we're listing don't have to be particularly in the horror genre. They're just like disturbing games that you find, or that like the majority of people find disturbing or creepy in general.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, disturbing and creepy do go hand in hand, but that doesn't mean that they're the same.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, so definitely go play those two for sure. Again, That Dragon Cancer is heavy, so go with that in mind. And What Remains of Edith Finch is heavy too, but not the way That Dragon Cancer is, because one is based off of actual events that happened to a family, unfortunately.
Yeah. So again, like, if you guys can find these games and actually play them, go in them with caution.
Yeah.
Definitely go in them with caution.
Yeah. We can recommend these games all we want if we genuinely enjoy them, but like the games we're talking about this episode do have heavy topics, and please go forward with caution. Go forward with caution.
Yes.
But anyway, next one I do have on a kind of lighter note. I do have Outlast, the first Outlast, as my next disturbing game. I only have one episode of this on my YouTube channel, and I didn't last an hour in this game.
No, you couldn't play it at all.
Uh-uh.
Even though like everyone was like, "You got this, dude. You can play this." No, she could not play this at all. She gave up. And
I was so scared.
It was like understandably why she gave up.
The thing about Outlast, and everybody knows this by now, Outlast, you go in, you're playing as a guy named Miles. He's a freelancer journalist, and he's gotten a report from somebody saying, hey, there's reports of abuse and negligence going on in this asylum. What the hell is it called? I wrote it down. Mount Massive Asylum. Well, the thing is, there is no weapons in this game. It's just your night vision camera, which can run out of batteries.
Yeah, you have to find the fucking batteries, and sometimes it's, like, hard to find the batteries.
Uh-huh. They do have a shine to them, but, like, they are still difficult to see, especially when you're panicking.
Yeah.
So, like, the only thing you can do in this game is to run or hide. I didn't last an hour in this fucking game. This game is, like, one of the... it's, like, made me... The part in the Beneviento house made me have flashbacks to this. Which is why it took me, like, an hour and a half to get through the Beneviento house in Resident Evil 8 the first time I ever played it. Because I was so scared.
It only took me a long time because I could not see this stupid music box. That was the only reason I couldn't finish it, like...
But you did.
Yeah.
But you did.
Yeah, also, like, I wasn't as scared as everyone else was. Because, honestly, like, I never saw anything of this game. Everything in the game that I played my first time was brand new. And it's been, like, a year after the game was released. Yeah. So, when I got to that, everyone was like, brace yourself, because, like, that's pretty, like, creepy and, like, it's gross. And when I got there, I was like... This isn't bad. This isn't the worst thing I've seen. Resident Evil-wise. It's not. That wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen.
No. I think it's bad for me because, firstly, I hate being chased. Being chased is, like, the worst feeling.
Well, there's that. You don't like dolls.
I hate dolls. Dolls are disgusting. I hate them. The only dolls I've ever liked were at my Aunt Spring's house. May she rest in peace. And she had these really pretty, like, yay high, Native American dolls. They were so pretty. Those are the only dolls I've ever liked. They were gorgeous.
Amazing.
But anyway, back to Outlast. You literally, this game is run on pure adrenaline.
Yeah.
Basically. Like, oh my god. It, like, I lasted, if I remember correctly, 52 minutes. Not even an hour. And after I was done playing, I gave up. I had a headache after, because I was, like, had such an adrenaline rush. I was like, people do this shit for fun.
Yeah.
Like, what's wrong with you fucking people? God. I'm kidding, of course. Kudos to you if you can do that. I can't do that.
I mean, like, I play horror games for the adrenaline, but the thing is, like, Outlast is a different type. And Outlast is a type that I don't really like or enjoy.
No. Yeah, a guy at GameStop, because I think I was with Alex, actually. Shout out to you, Alex. Love you. But, we were at GameStop, and I asked a dude, I was like, hey, I'm actually looking for a game that I could possibly stream. And he asked me what kind of games I liked, this, that, and the other. He was like, oh, I have the perfect thing for you to stream. And he goes over to the shelf, and he fucking gives me a copy of the Outlast Trilogy. It's got the first Outlast, the Whistleblower DLC, and Outlast 2. Didn't like Outlast 2. It was too dark. It's darker than the first Outlast. But he was like, you've got to play this. I can't believe that fucker convinced me to buy this fucking game. It was only $20 for all three, but, like, oh my god, it's $20 I'm never gonna get back. Jesus. But yeah, basically this whole game, I don't remember the story, I should have looked it up, but, like, the reason, it's not, the story is probably disturbing too, but the reason why this is disturbing is because there's a bunch of, like, I say this as lightly as possible, there's a bunch of insane inmates chasing you throughout the game. And it's basically a demented version of cat and mouse. And it's so scary.
Yeah.
There's just also disturbing imagery. There's, like, gore. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. Quite frankly, it's gross. So there's that. That's Outlast. If you got the guts for it, if you don't mind being chased, go for it. Because it's a classic. Go for it.
Or, I mean, like, if you don't really want to play it for yourself, there's, like, a bunch of people that played it on YouTube.
Oh, yeah. There's a shit ton of playthroughs.
Markiplier. And I remember, like, back when he first, like, was putting out those videos.
Oh, good old Mark.
I watched those, like, consistently because that was the only thing that entertained me. Because, like, I liked watching him play that game. But I knew, in reality, like, I think one of my cousins would ask me, like, hey, would you play that game? And I was like, fuck no.
Absolutely not.
But then again, I did buy the game.
Oh, you did? Yeah, that's right.
I did buy the game with the intention of playing it for myself. Like, not on stream, but, like, just for myself. I ended up not playing it, but my brother did play it.
Which one?
Matthew.
Okay. I was like, there's no way Mason played that shit.
No, he watched Matthew play, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
There's naked people running after you at some points.
It was funny, because Mason kept telling him to, like, run or, like, hide, and Matthew was like, I know, shut up.
Yeah, even as a joke at the beginning of the stream, when I played this, my friend Ty came in. I love Ty. And they were like, they were there for support, and I was like, Ty, I would like to write my last will and testament, please.
I remember that.
That shit was so funny. Oh, boy. And, God. But yeah, that's Outlast for you. So the next one we played together.
Yes.
Unfortunately. The next one we're going to discuss, Martha is dead.
So here's the thing.
Oh my god, the thing that sold us on this game.
So the thing that sold us on this game in particular was the fact that there was a
this
scene...
was on TikTok, by the way. Uncensored.
Yeah, I think we were just, like, scrolling on TikTok on your phone.
Yeah.
Or
I came out here, I was like, Kimberly, you gotta look at this.
Like, you saw it. But the thing is, I had already seen that clip, but I didn't know what game it was. And I thought it was, like, the most interesting shit I have ever seen. But then I realized, like, it's gross. It's so fucking funny. Because it's just, it's a scene where, your character is basically...
You're peeling off your twin sister's face.
Yes.
And putting it on your own. Which is a theme in the game because, not just the peeling off the face, but you're basically identifying as your sister who has mysteriously died at a lake. And you're not playing as Martha. You're playing as her twin sister, Julia. This game was fucked up. Unfortunately, though, I was not a fan of this game. I think a lot of the disturbing imagery was just there, and this is my opinion, but a lot of the disturbing imagery was just there for shock value, which is very sad to me. Also, this was not, like, a horror game. This was not listed as a horror game. It's just a thriller. It's a psychological thriller. It's towing that line, though.
So, but the thing is, it's that psychological thriller is a subgenre of horror.
Yeah, that's true.
So... technically it is horror with its elements and stuff like that in the game, but even if it was played out for shock value, it did do its job.
Yeah.
So it's
very hit or miss for people.
It really is, because with the time frame of this game where it takes place.
Yeah. Here's the thing, guys. And hopefully this doesn't get us in trouble for what I'm about to say, it has you try to sympathize with the main character's dad, who is a general for Nazi Germany.
Yeah.
Which I'm not okay with.
No.
At all.
No.
Especially since at the beginning of the game, after Julia, quote-unquote, has died, because Julia's acting like Martha, because Martha was the favorite between the two, the dad is the only one, because the mom hated Julia for whatever reason. And the dad is the only one grieving Julia. And they were trying to, like, get you to get sympathy from him at the beginning, which I did. But then I found out he was a Nazi, and I was like, never mind. I don't care.
Yeah, you find that out, like, a bit later in the game after that.
pretty early on, because there's somebody...
it is early on.
There's a letter you can find that says, Hail Hitler, signed this certain general. And I'm like, what? Excuse me? Do you want to run that by me again? It takes place in Italy, just so you know.
Yeah, and, like, this whole entire game, despite having that, like, shock value in, like, I guess the dreams or something.
Yeah,
right?
Hallucinations and dreams.
Okay, yeah. So despite having all that, like, disturbing imagery and stuff, nothing will ever compare to finding that out about the character's dad.
Yeah. That shit sucked. Because I felt sorry for him, because he was grieving Julia. But then again, he's a Nazi. I can't. Also, fair warning, guys. Yes, the dog does die. You'll know that if you've played this game.
Yeah.
You'll know that in context. I do have to give this game kudos, though, because of all of the, like, disturbing imagery. It does give the player the option to skip scenes.
Yeah, it does. And despite how, like, graphic it is, it's pretty quick.
Yeah, this deals with, like childhood abuse. There is self-harm. There's no sexual assault, thank God. What else does it deal with?
Also, I guess if you're sensitive with, like, miscarriages and stuff
that. I was like, what's the word for miscarriage? I forgot the word for miscarriage. Yeah, that's a heavy one, too. That's pretty on the nose in the game. But I do have to give credit where credit is due, because you and I were both like, what the fuck is happening? We had to keep playing to find out what the fuck was happening.
Oh, yeah, because, like, for the most part, we were kind of, like, clueless.
We were like, what is happening? Until, like, the last 20 minutes. We were like, what the fuck?
Yeah, because obviously everything will come together once we figure stuff out, and it's going to come together at the end.
Yeah. Even though I do think it could have been a better game, I do have to give it, like, I have to commend it for having us guessing and keeping us on our toes the entire time.
Yeah.
Other than, like, the gory stuff that's in it, and of course the miscarriage stuff, like,
it's
in between, actual gameplay is not that scary.
No, it's not. It's a
walking simulator.
It's kind of mundane, honestly.
Yeah.
But I mean, you go around taking pictures and stuff like that.
Yeah, there is a dark room that you have to go to uncover secrets and stuff, which is actually a pretty cool concept. But again, it's very hit or miss. Obviously, I have my own feelings towards, like, the father and just, like, how things were played out. I think it could have been a really, really good game, if not, first of all, for which side of the Second World War we were playing on. And just, the story, I think, it was intriguing, but I do think it could have been better.
Yeah. Also, I mean, like, with the dad, I do think you can feel bad because, like, his kid died. Because, like, kids dying are, like, sad in general, like, anyway.
Yeah. This is not a little kid, though. I think they're, like, 18 years old.
Yeah. But
it's his child. It is his child.
Still, you can feel bad for his child dying. Other than that, no.
No. Don't. If you are a neo-Nazi, go fuck yourself.
Like, at first I felt bad because I was like, oh shit, well, his child died.
And also, the mom's just a bitch, so me.
Oh yeah, dude, there were points where I was like, fuck, man, I want to slap the mom so bad.
The mom was awful. The mom was fucking god-awful. Anyway, there's that. It's censored on the PlayStation, right? Or was it Xbox?
It's censored...
PlayStation. I remember. It's censored on the PlayStation. But it's
not on Xbox.
Not on Xbox or PC.
Yeah, also we got it with a bundle, so it came with another game too, which
we haven't touched and we kind of regret buying because we still haven't touched it. It's been months.
Yeah, for the most part, it's because it has a warning of like
sexual assault
and self-harm.
Yeah,
and that
implied sexual assault is still bad.
But the thing is, like, after we played Martha is Dead, we don't really want to risk it with the other one.
No.
Because we don't know how graphic it's gonna be, and that's like a really sore subject with me personally, both the self-harm and, like, SA.
Yeah.
So I don't want to, like, subject myself to that, and I wouldn't want to subject anyone that would potentially be watching a stream
Yeah,
you know?
that's gonna be... no. Moving on. I don't... you could play Martha is Dead. I personally wouldn't recommend it because the story is lackluster, but...
Yeah, but if you want,
if you can stomach it.
If you could stomach gore, or, I mean, like, you can get the censored version or just skip that part.
They won't let you skip the dog, though, just so you know.
Yeah.
They don't let you skip the dog.
It's towards the end.
He looked too much like my dog.
Yeah. That was fucking sad.
Yeah, that's one instance where I wanted to hurt the mom. But whatever. Moving on, we need to move on from this fucking game. Next on my list, Visage. Visage is a psychological horror that I did watch Jack play. I need to rewatch it. I should have for this, but I didn't. In my defense, it's a not too long of a game, but it's still fairly lengthy, I think. But I wrote down, you play as Dwayne Anderson. I almost read Dwayne Johnson. God fucking damn it. Shout out to The Rock. You play as Dwayne Anderson in a strange house to uncover the backstories of old inhabitants. This is kind of reminiscent of What Remains of Edith Finch in a fucking disturbing way. But that's probably where it ends. The player, throughout the game, will have to avoid the dark, lest they risk losing their sanity, and other obstacles that I don't really recall. There are obstacles. There is a ghost that does try to kill you. But the sanity thing is very reminiscent of Amnesia, The Dark Descent. Because you couldn't really go in the dark for very long in that game. Otherwise, the monster would come after you and kill you. Or you would just go insane and die. Which, I mean... the game starts off with the main character... And this is like... This is how you know you're gonna be in some shit. The game starts off with the main character killing his wife and child before offing himself, really setting the tone for what's to come.
Yep.
I totally forgot about that until I read about it. I was like, oh shit. And that's literally all I wrote down for it, because like that in and of itself is like, oh, okay. Love it. What I do remember from that is that, it's kind of like, it reminds me of the killing of a sacred deer, because the wife and the child, I don't know how old the kid is. I don't think he's quite a teenager. If not, he's like 13. He's pretty young. But they have blindfolds on, or either blindfolds or they have bags over their heads or whatever. And oh my god, it literally just starts off with you killing your family and then offing yourself, and I'm like, bruh, this game gonna be fucked up.
Yeah.
I can't remember what else it's about. That's all I remember from it. That's all I remember from that. Alright. Do need to rewatch that, though. I do know that it's a pretty good movie. Movie? Game. I'm used to us talking about movies. So the next one I have on my list, Devotion. This one's definitely not as disturbing, I don't think. It does have disturbing imagery, like someone's jaw gets pulled off, I'm pretty sure, at some point. And it was actually, this is why I say most of my games at least can be purchased. I'm pretty sure this game got pulled from Steam.
Yeah, it's both this one and its sister game, Detention.
Yeah.
That got pulled off of Steam.
Yeah. Although I think people say that this got pulled off of Steam for disturbing imagery, but it's actually because... And this is alleged. Don't come for my ass, please. This is allegedly because there was something on the TV at some point in the game making fun of the Chinese leader in some way. I was like, oh. Uh-oh.
So the thing is, that was in there, but it was intentionally... It was supposed to be removed.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, it was supposed to be removed in the official release.
Yeah. And I forgot.
But before that, they couldn't do anything about it.
Whoops.
So they had to, it just, like, they took it off.
Whoops.
So allegedly it was because of that.
Yeah, this is a good game, though. I did enjoy watching it. It was very fun. I watched most of these because I don't have a good computer for this shit, and I don't know if a lot of these are on Xbox or PlayStation, but I don't know. But I wrote, this game was so disturbing that it is no longer on Steam, as far as I remember. The player controls Du Feng Yu, who is a screenwriter that is currently lacking inspiration. All the while, his daughter begins growing sick with a mysterious illness, along with arguments with his wife about financial issues. I actually recommend this game, as the story is intriguing, and I do not wish to spoil it. So yeah, take that for what you will. It's also like, if you like, I don't remember if you like Asian horror in general, this is pretty good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Oh yeah. Like, Asian horror hit different, bro, because that shit is so scary.
No matter what medium it is, Asian horror is just, I think it's 1,000 times more scary than anything the US or actually like any other country can come up with.
It's fucking scary. Particularly, from my experience, Japanese horror is really fucking scary. In my opinion.
I think it's like, because honestly, like, I've seen a lot of Korean and like Japanese.
You're right, Korean. Korean is also really scary.
Yeah.
Woo! Boy, you guys know how to fucking do it, man. It's scary. It's so scary.
It's so good though. I fucking love like Asian horror movies.
God.
They're always so good. And it's always like a psychological thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I like psychological stuff. I like the shit that messes with your head. That's why I had such high hopes for Martha is Dead, because I knew it was psychological, but I was kind of disappointed in it. But that's okay.
Yeah, but it just depends.
It depends. Depends on your flavor. Some people love Martha is Dead. I'm just,
I'm like in between. Like it's
I
like
got
it.
some parts,
Yeah.
but a lot of it is also. But
Yeah.
again, we're moving on. And the next one, the most infamous that I have on my list, Manhunt, which we've discussed briefly before.
So I can talk about Manhunt.
Oh, okay. Knock yourself out, dude. I have some notes on it. We can discuss it together.
Yeah. Okay, so Manhunt is a 2003 stealth game developed by Rockstar Games. There are 2 entries to the series, but I will only be talking about the first one. And the first entry was released for the PlayStation 2 in November 2003. And it's set within the fictional world of a Carcer City. And the main character the game follows, his name is James Earl Cash. He is a death row prisoner who is forced to participate in a series of snuff films, earning his freedom by murdering criminal gang members sent to hunt him on camera.
Yup.
So, each level in the game is actually called scenes.
Yeah.
And you're ranked between a 1 to 5 stars with how creative and stealthy you are with your kills, and after each level, the player is rewarded with a playback of said kill.
Yeah, basically the more brutal the better.
Yes. So basically after every scene, you are able to unlock more weapons, and so you can have more gruesome kills. And there is a normal difficulty called Fetish that the player can only get 4 stars in this scene. 1 star is attainable by completing a scene in under a certain amount of time, and the rest is either a 1 to 3 stars that is awarded by the brutality of the executions.
God.
So Manhunt also uses the optional PS2 USB microphone, so the player can use their actual voice to distract the in-game enemies.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. I didn't even realize that. That's kind of freaky, actually.
Also, Manhunt is usually compared to the Saw franchise, which is the videotape style and general plot of the game, but the Saw franchise, the first movie came out in 2004, a year later.
Damn. I can see that. So, I did have something interesting about this that I found out about through another podcast from Guide to the Unknown. Again, shout out to you guys. I think I'm shouting you out for the same thing again. Manhunt, hi. I know you can only play 20 minutes of this game at a time, Will. But, so apparently, this is all alleged, by the way. There was, where the hell did I write it down? Also, before I even get to what I'm going to say, this game is banned in Germany, Malaysia, New Zealand, and South Korea, along with, and this is what I'm getting to, along with allegedly inspiring a 17-year-old boy to murder a 14-year-old boy after being completely obsessed with this game. Though it's not actually believed to have actually inspired this young man to murder by officials, it surely is worrying to be obsessed with this game in particular in such a way.
Yeah.
I just want to put this out there. I don't believe video games cause violence. That's just stupid. I'm sorry. In my opinion, it's really dumb.
I don't think they cause violence, but they can be influenced by violence.
Yes. Absolutely. But, yeah, that's allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah. Capital A, allegedly. We don't know for certain. But yeah, it's a disturbing game. Like, and the concept is interesting. But when you hear snuff film, you're like, what the fuck?
It's very interesting, but the thing is, it's like, the concept of the game is very disturbing, and it's just something that you don't really think about.
No. Never.
You know?
Ever. No. Ugh.
Like, usually that's what you find in, like, the dark web.
Yeah. Speaking of the dark web, flawless segue. My next disturbing game, welcome to the game. This game, you play, it's your character sitting at their computer, and here's the layout. So you're up in a corner, to your left is the wall, to the right is, like, your dining room, but on the wall where your desk is up against, there's a window. Keep this in mind. Basically, welcome to the game is a simulator for trying to find a red room, which I'm gonna preface this right now, guys. And just overall, do not go on the deep or dark web. Do not seek it out. It is not worth the trauma. It is not worth the possibility, because I know it can happen, of somebody finding your IP address and being able to track you down and possibly hurt you. Basically, the goal of this game is you have to go through a series of different websites on the deep web in hopes to find, and like you have to find, it's a puzzle game basically. You go and find codes that will help you find a red room, which, if you don't know what a red room is a live stream on the dark web of people making, like, not donations, that's a fucking lighthearted word, like betting or auctioning for someone to get hurt, tortured rather, and or murdered. It is a live stream. It is actual people dying, but they don't show actual people dying in this game. This is a pretty safe game to play, TBH. And it does use your microphone, because there's some parts where hackers will try to track down your IP address and thus track down your actual address, sneak into your house, and kidnap you. When you hear footsteps outside, you have to turn the lights off, your computer off, or put it to sleep or whatever. And be very quiet if you're wearing a headset with a microphone attached to it, because this game can pick up your voice. And I rewatched Mark play this because I was like, I need to visit this series again. It's not as scary as I remember it. The concept of it, though,
is very terrifying.
It's terrifying because it's shit that can actually happen.
Yeah.
So, I do I did write this down. We encourage you to not actually seek out the dark web or red rooms of any kind. Just stick to this game. Please, guys. From us to you, don't seek out the dark web. It's not worth it. Also, I did put this down here because there is some, like, disturbing imagery in some of the websites. They're not real, obviously, but, like, there's gore, and there's drug paraphernalia, and there's... This is gonna be out of place, but there's, like, a website where... And I think it's based off an actual dark web website, where there's somebody out there who takes girls? Kidnaps them, I'm pretty sure. Not young girls, like women. And turns them into dolls, which I heard is a thing. I don't like.
Human taxidermy.
Woo! And it's not like... It looks like dolls. It doesn't even look human. It's the Uncanny Valley.
Okay,
if
but
you will.
Still, that's pretty gross.
That is very gross. But yeah. So, that's fun. I don't know if you can turn off the microphone thing, but, you know, it's yeah. But yeah, this is a simulation of the dark web. And again, don't actually stick out the dark web. Stick with this game. It's actually really fun.
It's entertaining.
It's entertaining. I won't play it myself because I scream too much like a little bitch.
I mean, there's that, but also, like, if you get caught, you have to start from the fucking beginning.
Yeah.
And I don't have that, like...
patience.
Because I don't have the patience, and I don't have the memory captivity to, like, remember everything that I've done before.
Yeah, because it's also, like, you have a certain amount of time to be able to find a red room. I think you have, like, 31 in-game days. Yeah. Something like that to find the red room. And you lose days whenever you get, like, kidnapped. Yeah. So you have to start all over again. Or not when you get caught, because there's hackers trying to get into your system. You have to deflect them, and if you fail, you lose days. So that's not good. But I think that's also where they are, like, trying to get into your house if you fail. So they're trying to get your IP address. And let me just preface this. When I say they're trying to get your IP address, I mean in the game, not in real life. I promise. Nobody's actually going to come after you. It will make you paranoid if you're like, sensitive enough. Paranoid. Yeah, if you're easily paranoid. This will make you paranoid. But it's a pretty interesting game.
Also, like, the sounds, ooh.
Yeah, wear this with play this with headphones.
Surround sound.
Surround sound.
It's binaural.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Ugh. Gross. And I think that's all the ones that I have, because I talked about that Dragon Cancer earlier already.
Oh, those are all the ones you have?
That's all the ones I have.
Okay, so I only have 3.
That's okay.
I only have 3, and I had 4, but I already talked about Manhunt.
You already told me about 2 others that I'm just shook about. I'm like, what the fuck? Who made this?
So, like, 2 of these are completely different than what we've talked about right now.
Yeah. You just told me the names and I was like, what the hell are you talking about?
2 of these, I have to preface, that have taken place in real life. These are based off actual events that have happened in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
And the first one is the 9/11 simulator.
The generational trauma.
Yep. So the 9/11 simulator was created by a team of French developers. This was created in France.
What?
Yes. So it is a VR game set to the events of September 11th.
Are you kidding me?
I'm not.
Oh my god. I'm going to stop you for a second. Can I preface that? Is it sad that I think that they would actually make us play this in school on 9/11?
No, I don't think they would, but also... No, I don't think they would. Because this game is very... This game is very glitchy.
Y'all, that's the main problem. The game is so glitchy.
Yeah, no, this game is very glitchy. There's that, and the fact that, like, I don't think teachers would make anyone play this because of the subject matter. I think they would just stick to, like, you know, the textbook stuff.
Textbook.
They fucking show you videos and everything about this.
They show you videos of people jumping out of the fucking towers. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Ugh. Dude.
So, continuing with this. So it's a VR game that is set to the events of September 11th, where the player is put in the perspective of a victim who is on the top floor of the building before and during the plane crash. So the developers did extensive research for this project and initially made it as a way to convey how it must have been for the many people in the Twin Towers. And unsurprisingly, Americans found this game to be very tasteless, disrespectful, and disturbing.
Yeah.
And also during the game, you're able to explore the building, but you're not able to leave.
Oh my god.
Obviously.
Dude.
And there is a part where you and another character, the character is able to, one of the other office workers is able to break a window, and they get so frustrated because they don't think they are going to make it, so they jump out of the top story window. And there is an option for you to do the exact same thing. So you can either, this game ends with either you unaliving yourself, jumping out of the window, or just letting the smoke
suffocate you.
Yeah, pretty much. Where your screen just goes black.
Christ, France, what the hell, man? This is not just the devs of this game. What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck? Why would you make this? This is so fucked up.
Yeah.
I like that I had the fun stuff. Mostly. And here you are actually committing, being like, yep, these are fucked up and you shouldn't play them.
Exactly.
This is not how I thought this was gonna go. But you know what?
How did you not think this was gonna go? One, it's disturbing video games.
I know.
2, you knew I was gonna find something.
I know. Listen, though, I thought it was just gonna be a funny haha time, okay?
No, it's not. Okay. I'm going to be honest.
Uh-huh.
The 9/11 simulator is not that bad. Do not come after me for this shit. It's not that bad as the next one I'm going to talk about.
We do want to preface 9/11 was an awful event.
Yes, 9/11 was a completely awful event that none of us will ever forget that.
No. But this next one, Kimberly, oh my fucking god.
This next one, okay.
The problem with the next one is still an ongoing problem, though.
Yeah. So as everyone knows, the Columbine shooting that happened in 1999, I believe.
It was either 98 or 99, I can't remember.
I think it was 99. That just goes to show, because there's been so many that has happened.
Can't keep up.
No. But the Columbine is one of the most significant ones.
Yeah. It's like a domino effect.
Because of the 2 gunmen.
Yep.
I do not want to say their names, because at this point everyone knows who they are, and I feel like I don't need to say it.
No. Especially since people are sick and idolize them.
Yeah. School shootings are definitely a sore subject with everyone in the U.S. and around the world, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Mostly in the U.S. because we have such a bad fucking problem with it.
Yeah, and as someone who has been in the middle of like school shootings and has been out in the open during a school shooting,
yeah,
it's fucking terrifying.
Yeah. And I've been, it's not a shooting, but I've been under a bomb threat before, which turned out to be false, thank God.
Oh, God.
Oh my God, it is horrifying. It is the most horrifying thing, not knowing what the outcome is going to be.
It really is. So, if you don't know about the Columbine shooting, the Columbine shooting at Columbine High School took many lives of its students and a few of the teachers who were trying to protect these students.
Yes.
And there were 2 gunmen.
Mm-hmm.
They were both students of this high school. And they planned this out because not only were they going to do this mass shooting, they planted bombs in the school before the school opened.
Jesus.
And those bombs did not go off.
Thank God.
So they decided to go on with shooting everyone in the school. So that's basically it for Columbine.
Yeah.
And this game is called Columbine Rpg. And it is a 8-bit game created by Danny Ladone. And again, it's based off the 1999 shooting that took place in Columbine High School.
Yeah.
It was created 6 years after the incident.
Oh my fucking God.
So the player took roles of the two school shooters and played out the events of the massacre. And this game is...
You can call it that.
Yeah. This game takes place, like, morning of, when these two kids, like, wake up. Day of. And you're going through everything, and it's accurate of what actually went on inside.
Oh my god. This makes me feel sick to my stomach.
Yeah. So this game also uses digital stills from actual footage.
Oh my god.
And it has real voice samples from the news reports that were being broadcasted at the time.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ.
So, unsurprisingly, the game received generally negative responses from not only the players, but the media and the survivors of the massacre.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wonder why.
Again, which it's not surprising.
Why would you do this?
But,
does he give a reason?
So, he says that the developer says that he understood. I hate this. He said that he understood what the two boys who did this were going through, that he understood how everything came to, because, like, they were bullied.
Oh, boo fucking
and stuff
who.
like that, because, like, he was also bullied. But the thing is, he wanted this game not to be, like...
Sympathetic?
Yeah, I guess. He wanted it to be, like, more educational in a way. And, like, I can give him that credit where he... Like, his heart is in the right place for this.
Yeah.
But it's executed very poorly. Very, very poorly.
Like, this is a horrible idea. Okay, Elizabeth.
Yeah.
This is...
Like, I can understand wanting to, like, educate people on...
but there are other ways to
shootings.
go around it.
There is definitely other ways, because the thing is, this person in the game has done, like, extensive research on this tragedy, and throughout the game it is very realistic and very... It might be an 8-bit game.
Yeah.
But it's very realistic with how it goes on and how detailed it is when it comes to unaliving every other character.
Yeah, like... This is a piss poor comparison, but, like, this is, like, trying to do, like... Because this is my example for a piss poor comparison. There is, and these ones are fine because I think they're educational. These are cool. There is a VR of the events of the night that the Titanic sank.
Yeah,
that's educational, and also is just this is not an excuse because it's so long ago now. But and it's not a sore subject anymore because it's so rare that stuff like the Titanic happens. But
I mean, there's that, but the thing is, like, not a lot of people see it as a huge tragedy anymore.
They only see the movie.
The movie.
But trying to do the same thing with school shootings,
that's on a whole other level. That is
a horrible idea.
Yeah. Because
it's still a problem. It's a huge, astronomical problem that we still have.
Yeah.
I can only imagine, firstly, just the people after Columbine sending their kids to school after that. How do you carry on? Here's the thing, though, because, like, after something like this happens, like after the bomb threat at my school, personally, and it was cleared, we went on throughout the rest of the day, or at least I didn't, because I got to go home early, thank God, because I was an anxious mess the rest of the day. We carried on like nothing happened. How do you move on from this?
Yeah. I mean, like, I remember in, I remember in elementary school, my dad was trying to wake me up for school. And I told him, like, I don't want to get up. I want to go to sleep. Like, I just want to stay asleep. And he's like, all right, that's fine. But you can miss, like, one day.
Yeah.
And what ended up happening was he frantically woke me up to watch the news. And on the news, it showed that there was someone with a gun that was shooting at the front of our school, my school. And at the time, I was, like, in elementary school. I was, like, I think in second grade.
Yeah.
And after that, like, my parents did not let me go to school for, like, a couple days. I think for the rest of the week I didn't go.
If I ever had kids, like, I get public school does the job for you. I wouldn't, if I ever had kids, and I'm not going to because I don't want them. If I ever had kids, I would put myself through the education to be able to teach them at home and not risk that.
Yeah.
Because it's too common. It's so sad that we have to be scared of having our kids go to school.
Yeah, I mean, considering our situation right now with, like, COVID-19.
Yes.
There was also that scare, because, like, I don't have kids. But I have younger siblings who I consider my kids because I've taken care of them since they were babies.
Yeah.
And with the, like, risk of them getting sick, that was already on there, you know?
Yeah.
When they were going back to school. But the fact that, like, I had to get a call, not from my sister, but from the school saying that they were on lockdown because someone came in there with a fucking katana.
Which was crazy to me.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of something like that.
Me neither. But I was terrified. And I wanted immediately to go to the school.
Yeah.
And it was both my sister and my brother. And at the time, my youngest brother, I had to go pick him up, and I left him, I think, with my aunt, and I had to go pick up my other siblings at the high school where this was taking place. And by the time, like, I got there was, like, a whole bunch of parents there, and they had taken the person in custody.
Yeah.
And the whole entire time I was there, I kept getting calls from all of my family members asking, like, where am I? Because they went by the house and I wasn't there. And I told them, like, no, I'm like at the school trying to pick up my my brother and sister. And I remember when Chelsea and Matthew came out, and immediately they were like, can we get food? Like, they were unfazed. They just wanted to leave the school.
Yeah.
And here I am fucking terrified because I didn't know where they were. I didn't know what exactly was happening because at the time, like, Chelsea was just sending our mom text messages that, like, oh, someone brought, like, a sword to school or something.
Yeah.
And then Matthew was actually telling my mom that, like, he was kind of scared.
Yeah. And that's the thing is that, oh my god, this is just such a... We'll change the subject soon, guys, but we've got to cover this. The fact that they're desensitized to it is so scary.
The fact that, like, they're...
Like, it's a normal, everyday thing.
It's just the fact that they're scared in the moment because they don't know what's happening. But as soon as, like, they find out that either the person is caught or they're removed from school or something and they're, like, safe again, they're immediately fine.
Yeah. That's fucking scary, dude.
Yeah.
Because, oh my god, I was a wreck the rest of the day. I could, even though it was like a false alarm, what ended up happening for my school was, it was the paper that they found that had bomb directions, quote unquote, it was a bomb threat, was just how to play a certain game.
Amazing.
I don't remember what game it was, but we didn't know that until the next day.
Yeah, it's just schools have to take, like, precautions and stuff like that.
Yeah, like they should have brought in bomb, like, dogs,
like the bomb squad and stuff like that.
Yeah,
yeah. Um,
And they also let us go back into the school before it was cleared, by the way. Which I think was not cool, but whatever.
so again, like, I have... When I lived in LA, I used to live in, like, East LA.
Yeah.
And East LA is, like, notorious for all this, like, gang shit, you know?
Yeah.
So, like, I lived in the heart of East LA.
Yeah.
This was, like, sadly a common occurrence as a child growing up.
Mm-hmm.
And there was one time in middle school where I was actually left outside when everyone went to the gym. And I had to hide between cars in the parking lot. And no one wanted... Like, I was right outside the gym and no one wanted to open the door for me. And I had no clue because, like, all my stuff was in the locker room. I was, like, in my gym uniform.
Oh, boy.
And I was terrified. Like, I was so close to, like, breaking down. And I got the shit scared out of me because when I guess everything was over, the police and, like, the school cops were checking out the area. And one of them was able to find me. But it scared the shit out of me because all I saw was, like, a fucking gun.
Yeah.
So I was scared, and I lived close to the school. I lived, like, 2 or, like, a block away from the school. So I was able to, like, walk home, but I felt completely uncomfortable. And that's the difference between me and my siblings, where I felt completely uncomfortable and I did not want to return to school.
Yeah. Because how can you after that? Okay, and this is not... I have... How do I word this? There's a thing... I have a thing about parents just being... Not all parents, clearly, but certain parents just being okay with sending their kids to school the day after something like that happens.
And I don't understand parents who do that.
Firstly, I don't know why the school is still open the rest of the week. And go on business as usual.
No, like, thankfully with Matthew and Chelsea, they go to the same, like, academy in the same, like, school setting. But so with their school, there's 5 different academies, but each of them are, like, run by different principals and stuff like that. But they are run by the same administration.
Gotcha.
So the administration said, like, yeah, no, you guys are returning to online for the next 2 weeks after this.
Yeah.
So they were able to stay home during that.
Jeez.
And not go back for, like, 2 weeks at least.
Ugh. Yeah, but it's such a fucking huge problem.
Yeah.
And then, and not to get political or anything, and then people are just like, you're trying to take our gun rights away. Do you not realize why?
Yeah. Do you realize, like, other countries who have gun laws
don't have this problem?
Yeah. Like, they're responsible with their shit.
And again, I get having a little handgun for self-defense.
Yes, so the thing is, it's like, I understand that you need a gun for self-defense.
Big boy guns? No.
No. That is completely, like, okay. Not the big boy guns, but that is completely okay to have a gun for self-defense.
Yeah, little handgun, pistol,
but
something small.
But I do think you need psychological screenings.
Yes, please.
Like, extensive psychological screenings, because I can't own a gun until, like, I'm 28 because of my mental history. And I mean, not like I ever want to fucking, like, buy one. I never want to buy one. But like, personally, I can't have it because of my mental history and, like, my self-harm history. I can't have one.
Yeah.
And I never want one anyway. But the thing is, like, if you are qualified to have one at least for protection, I get that.
Yeah.
I do honestly get that. But the fact that some some states in the U.S. allow, like, as low as, what, 16?
I saw they did not a simulation, but, like, a test, and they had a 13-year-old able to go in and get a gun from a gun show.
Like, I that's a gun show, though.
It's still guns, though.
Yeah, but, like, I feel like a gun show has different fucking rules, which it shouldn't have different rules or anything.
No. And yeah, you have to be 18 to buy a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
Hello? Make it make sense?
Please do. Because honestly, it's really stupid. Like, I don't think anyone under, like... Honestly, I don't think anyone under the age of, like, 30 should own a gun.
No. And again, it's...
Like, as much as you think, like, 20 and above is an adult, like, 20 to 29 is an adult.
Still mentally developing.
No, you are still developing. You do not, like, finish developing until you're, like, in your 30s.
Yeah.
I still don't think you should own a gun even in your 20s.
Yeah.
But if you, like, 30 and above and you need it for self-defense, that is completely okay.
Yeah. And, like, I understand if you, like, go hunting.
Yeah.
Like, that's fine.
Yeah, because people go hunting. People even do this shit for, like, you know, to survive.
Yeah. If you live off the grid, yeah.
Yeah. That's completely okay. But the thing is, it's like, when you start seeing people with, like, easy access to firearms.
Children!
Yeah.
Oh my god! Like,
Children do not need to be able to buy a gun.
No. Absolutely not.
No. And if you're saying, well, what do they need for self-defense? And I'm like, well...
They're a child.
They don't
Get
need
the mace.
There's pepper spray. There's, like... What is it? There's taser guns.
Yes.
Not taser guns, but like
keys.
tasers.
Keys work too.
There's also keys. But like there are so many like small self-defense kits that you can get. Like my sister, she has one. She has one that comes with like a mini like taser, and it comes with like a thing that you can like stab the window with, so you can break it easily.
Yeah.
And it comes with a little pocket knife. And it comes with all that. It comes with like safety things for your keys too.
Yeah.
So the thing is, it's like kids don't need guns.
No.
But if you need to have like a self-defense thing for a kid, a good thing is like probably a small taser. If they're old enough, like 16 and above are old enough to have a taser.
Some
honestly,
doofus is gonna tase themselves. Just to see what it feels like. I can see it now.
It's the boys, I can see it.
Yeah. Nothing against you. We just know that somebody's gonna do that.
It's true.
Fair, police officers have to do that when they're in training, so I mean.
Yeah. But either way, I do not think you need guns unless it's for like, you can argue like, oh, that's for self-defense, and I'm like, yeah, okay, but you don't need
an AR-15.
You just need a simple handgun. That's it. So honestly, our stance with this is like, if you are a child, you do not need to get guns or own guns. If you know that your parents have one in the house, leave them alone.
And parents...
Leave those alone, and parents...
Lock them up.
Hide and fucking, like, lock your guns away where a child cannot get it.
Yes. Dude, the most experience I've had with a gun is, like, holding my mom's handgun, which she does have, because it was either my great-grandma Betsy's or my great-grandma Claire's. I can't remember which one. And I was scared holding it.
Yeah, but your mom has it for, like, self-defense.
Yeah, and I was scared holding it, because it's just a regular little Glock, and it was heavy. I was scared holding it. I didn't want to fucking accidentally go off. I was like, nope.
But either fucking way, like...
Don't make Columbine shooting simulators.
And the thing is, this game... We have gone so much into this.
I'm so
because
sorry,
of this
guys.
subject, guys. But
we're passionate, okay?
Yeah. This game actually inspired, like, other RPGs of other mass shootings, like God, Sandy Hook.
Are you fucking kidding me? I want to steal knees so badly.
It's a mood. But yeah, that's Columbine RPG.
Why do you guys do this? Please end us off with a fun one, Kimberly. I'm begging you.
I don't know if you consider it fun, but I have Doki Doki Literature Club as my last one.
It's lighter than Columbine RPG. Oh my fucking god!
I know.
Where does it end?
So hi, have you guys ever played Doki Doki Literature Club?
I need a fucking drink. I don't even drink. I need a drink.
Okay, let's get into this again. So, Doki Doki Literature Club, or abbreviated as DDLC, is a 2007 visual novel developed by the game studio Team Salvato.
You mean 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
Oh, you said 2007.
No, I said 2017.
Did you?
Yeah.
What the fuck? I think my mind is still reeling from the last subject. I'm so sorry. This was a fucking great idea, Lex. Good fucking job. I hate myself.
Don't hate yourself because I'm the one that found it.
You owe me McDonald's.
I don't. You're the one that put us into this situation.
You didn't have to go to that extreme, though.
Yes, I did.
Okay, carry on. I'm sorry.
So yeah, back to this.
Jesus.
So Doki Doki Literature Club.
Mm-hmm.
I have played this game so many fucking times. And
it's because you're gay.
No, it's because of Adam. Adam told me to play it. Adam told me to play it, and I'm like, okay, sure. Jeez. I went in as blind.
Oh my god.
As most of the people did. So this game is told in the perspective of a high school student who reluctantly joins the school's literature club on the instance of his childhood friend.
Sayori, right?
Yes.
Bless her.
So the player has a choice between 3 of the 4 members to romance. Doki Doki Literature Club features multiple endings and unlockable cutscenes with each of the main characters. So, sounds like your typical visual novel, right?
Oh yeah, it's just a romance.
Yeah, it is. It's a very cute...
It's Mystic Messenger all over again, guys.
So this game itself on the surface appears to be your, like, you know, stereotypical visual novel. With its, like, you know, bright colors and cute themes and adorable characters. But as the player continues, they discover a darker tone that hides under all the cute visuals.
A theme I did notice, because I've watched multiple people play this game, was even, like, throughout the cutesy stuff, they're like, I feel like something bad's gonna happen.
Yes, because it does...
Has the undertone.
It is a little bit off-putting.
It's very... Yeah. It's got... yeah. Because, like...
Even early on, it's a little bit off-putting, but the thing is, like, you kind of tend to ignore it, because...
Sometimes it just happens in visual novels.
Yeah, sometimes it does happen.
I think it's mostly because, like, the backstories of some of the
guess
characters.
the most recent, you know, visual novel games, they were kind of like teetering on that thing where it's a little bit unsettling, but or a little bit like, you know, like questioning, but it never really goes anywhere, you know?
This goes somewhere.
This does, because this game is actually a psychological horror that extensively breaks the fourth wall.
Yes, it fucking does. I love breaking of the fourth wall. That shit's fun.
The characters that the protagonist interacts with are the cheerful childhood friend Sayori, the quiet and shy Yuri.
Check on your happy friends, guys, by the way.
The assertive Natsuki, and the bubbly club president Monica.
Everyone loves Monica.
Each girl writes a poem at the end of each day, and it is revealed while reading these, like in the poem minigame, that Sayori suffers from depression. Natsuki suffers from malnourishment and abuse from her father. Yuri becomes obsessive and possessive, and it leads to self-harm. And Monica, who is revealed to be possessive and manipulative. So at the game, there are glitches, there are missing character files that erase said character from the game's narrative. And as you continue playing, you find out that Monica has become self-aware and is jealous of the other 3 girls being love interests, while she is the only one that's on the sidelines. Monica is the one sabotaging the player's game, so she will be the only one that you choose. And if you stick around to see Monica's ending, she will be sitting across from the player and address you by your name. So here's the thing. She isn't talking or like professing her love to the protagonist. She's actually in fact saying all of this to you, the person behind the screen, that has been, you know, somewhat controlling the game the entire time. Now, players can quit at any time during this section.
Yeah.
But if you choose to keep going, and if you choose to keep talking to her, Monica will start to feel remorse for her actions and agree to set everything back to normal and ultimately erase herself from the game. So when you go back to the beginning, it is rewritten where there is no mention of Monica, no one remembers Monica, and you are able to have your quote-unquote happy or true ending with Sayori.
But Sayori takes Monica's place.
Yes.
I do want to point out, guys, and we keep coming back to music because it's our thing. There is an excellent song by Mr. Nate Wants to Battle called Manipulate that is based off of this game. I do recommend you go give it a listen because it's really good.
I had to catch my breath after saying all that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Because initially this game is, from what I've said, I guess it can be considered disturbing, but once you I know you said that you
imagery.
Didn't find it as disturbing.
Yeah, no, it's not as disturbing to me personally. It does have disturbing imagery, don't get me wrong, and there's self-harm and this self-unaliving, but
all from the same person. So the thing is,
I was thinking of two different people, but yeah, you're not wrong. Keep going.
The thing is, it's very triggering for some people. Like, for me, it was the unaliving of both characters.
Yeah.
And the mention of, when you find the other character self-harming themselves,
Yeah.
And it's just...
Because I'm fortunate enough to not have gone through that kind of thing. I am a depressed person, but not to that extent. Thank God.
I was. Thankfully, I do not. I am not deep in my depression anymore like that. But I used to be, and this still. It's not that it triggers me, because I don't think it does.
Mm-hmm.
It just makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's too familiar.
Yeah, that's where I am just ooh, that's a little too close to home.
Yeah, and then I can understand where it could be disturbing.
Yeah,
it's just because our experiences in life are different.
Yeah,
some of it is parallel with one another, but it's we don't have the same backstory completely.
Oh no, we don't.
For sure, no.
But also back to music. I recently was listening to both Nate's songs that he did for Doki Doki.
What was the other one? I know it's Manipulate, and what's the other one?
Delete Me.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fan favorite. I forgot about that.
So I've
actually never listened to that one.
I do find Delete Me to be in the perspective of I feel like Delete Me is the perspective of Monica. Yeah. And then Manipulate is the perspective of the protagonist.
Yeah.
So I like listening to those back to back, because it's I think it's a good story in and of itself when you know this game.
Yeah.
And I know this game like the back of my fucking hand. And we actually did a little cosplay group with I did it with Diane and Loki.
Yeah, you cosplayed as Sayori, didn't you?
No.
Oh, Yuri, that's right.
Yeah, I cosplayed as Yuri.
Why did I remember Sayori? What the hell?
We did not have a Sayori in our group because Diane was Natsuki and Loki was Monica.
People love Monica. I'm like, I don't.
People really do love Monica. I
don't.
I don't either, but it's because I've had those people that were very manipulative in my life.
Same.
So it's I can see that, and I
can't.
don't like her.
I don't like her.
And for obvious reasons, I
think you guys are a little bit too forgiving with Monica is the thing.
Yeah. And I'm yes, sure, she feels remorse at the end of everything. But it's
sometimes narcissists do.
Yeah.
But it doesn't matter in the end because they're still narcissistic.
At what cost, though? Because, she pretty much,
look at the damage!
She killed off all her friends.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Jesus.
But, like, honestly, if you play any of these games that we have, like, listed, again, go in it with caution and stuff like that.
Don't do the Twin Towers and the Columbine thing, please.
Oh, you can't play those anymore.
Oh, yeah, you can't. That's
No.
right. Don't.
You can't play those anymore, thankfully.
Don't look for them.
Please don't. But
yeah, if you play any of the other games, though, email us and tell us what you think.
Oh, definitely.
Go in with caution, please, though. For love of God.
Also, I mean, like, for disturbing games, we could have went into, like, Five Nights at Freddy's, but that shit's too much.
That's a lot of lore to
It's
fucking
just
wade
too much,
through.
and I don't want to go into that.
And I also think that it has to be surface level.
Yeah.
Because you kind of have to dig around in FNAF for the lore.
That too.
Especially the first one.
But also, we should mention that, again, go into caution with these games.
Yes, please do.
Please definitely go into caution with these games, and don't seek out most of, like, the rare games that we talk about. That we talked about, because it's... I don't think they're playable. Anyway. But you can, like, search of it.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can play on it.
There is a thing that I heard about, and this is, like, I think Kristen and Will talked about this on their podcast, Guide to the Unknown. Shout out to you guys. We're talking about you again, I'm sorry. I gush about these guys, because they're fucking awesome. But, I think Will mentioned that Manhunt takes place in the same world. It was either Will or somebody else, can't remember, but Manhunt takes place in the same world as Grand Theft Auto.
Oh yeah, I've heard people say that.
I'm like, oh. I could be wrong. It might not have been Will, but if not, that's okay. Shout out to God of the Unknown anyway, because they're fucking awesome. But, jeez.
So yeah, these games are disturbing in their own ways.
Yeah, and keep in mind, guys, that your level of disturbing might be different from somebody else's. Some things might be worse for you than others, or vice versa.
Oh yeah, like, clearly our perspectives on most of these games are completely different.
Yeah. Yeah. But, just proceed with caution, and, have fun safely.
Yeah, like, that's all we can say about it, honestly. And if there was a game that we didn't talk about that you would like for us to probably research, and we could do maybe a part 2 on this.
Ooh, yeah.
Like, send us an email.
Don't send us stuff about games from the dark web. We
Please
will not
don't.
look at it. We will not look at it. That means, Sad Satan. Don't send us anything about Sad Satan. Because we won't be doing research about it.
No.
Just look up Wendigoon. I think he's got some icebergs about it. Wendigoon's a cool YouTuber. But, yeah. Well, Little Spooks, that's gonna be it for us today.
So, join us next week as we discuss with a special guest, found footage horror movies. And
hell yeah.
we are going to be going through the genre itself, and we will talk about, like, specific movies. But we won't go through, like, every movie because there's a shit ton of found footage.
Yeah, unless there's one specifically you guys want us to cover later on down the line. You can always tell us.
You can always suggest us movies.
Yeah.
But for this episode, we are gonna go through the history of found footage, where it started, how it elevated, and how it became the mainstream.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Hell yeah. Don't forget to rate us and tap that bell icon on Spotify so you don't miss an episode. We post every week on Saturday. If you want to follow... Also, before I get to that, send us your ghost stories. We're taking ghost stories for October in anticipation for a spooky season.
Oh yeah. So the cutoff date to send us, like, any ghost stories is gonna be September 25th.
Yes.
So you have all this time to send us any emails about your ghost stories that we could possibly put on the show.
Hell yeah. If you want to follow the Guarded by Demons socials, we're on Twitter at Guarded Demons, but we're also on Anchor, YouTube, and Instagram at Guarded by Demons. We also have an email, guardeddemonpod@gmail.com. That's where you can email us your ghost stories if you wish, or any suggestions, like topics, movies, games, stuff like that. All that good jazz.
Yeah.
And also be nice to me. I will cry if you're mean.
Yes, because she's the one that sees the emails first because she has it on her phone.
Sweet.
So you will probably mostly get a reply from her on there. We both run the Twitter, so we can both message you or, interact with us on there.
Yeah.
I run the Instagram, so I will most likely message you back on there.
We both have access to the YouTube.
Yes, we do. But she will most likely write to you first, because I only have access on my laptop.
I got you guys. Don't you worry about it.
Yeah. We already have a suggestion.
We do.
Yes.
We do. Shout out to Orsa on our YouTube comments, who suggested we look at Creep, which we'll try to squeeze in somewhere, hopefully.
Oh, no, we will. We definitely will, because I would love to cover it on the podcast.
That fucking grin is scaring me, Kimberly.
So, if you have seen Creep already, you know it's found footage.
Ooh.
Which is fitting for...
That is perfect
next
timing,
week.
Orsa.
It's found footage. So it's fitting for next week.
Mm-hmm.
And most people do say that it lives up to its name.
Ooh.
There is Creep and Creep 2.
Creep 2 does not, I'm assuming. That's usually how it goes.
Still does. No, still does.
Oh, okay.
Both do live up to
Okay,
its
you got
name.
me. You got me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we will talk about Creep a little bit next week, but I don't want to spoil anything.
Okay.
So I will be careful with what I say.
Okay.
So once again, I am Kimberly, and if you want to follow me on my personal accounts, I am the Lesbian Spook on Twitter. I am Spooky Scary Lesbian on Twitch and Tumblr. And I kind of play some games over on Twitch. Recently, I just finished Resident Evil 3 Remake, and I want to go back into Resident Evil 2 Remake, but I want to go back into Claire's story.
Yeah, you and I sat and chatted while you played Resi 3, and I thought that was very fun.
Yeah.
I rated you.
It was great.
I rated you one day on Twitch.
You did, it was fun.
I got you, bitch.
Also, I mean, if you're into ASMR, I have an ASMR channel on YouTube.
You do. You just hit 300 subscribers. I'm so proud of you.
I did. I'm very proud of myself, honestly. But if
that's as of recording, God knows you probably get another 100 by the end of the week.
Yeah, that's as of recording. But honestly, it's just like another side project, just like this.
Yeah. She likes to keep herself busy.
I do.
Keeps you from going nuts.
I'm not like the typical person who goes into astrological signs, but I am a Capricorn. So if that says anything.
I'm a Pisces and I'm a little bitch. No.
I'm a Capricorn, and Capricorns are known for being workaholics.
Jesus.
So if you want to follow me on YouTube, and if you like ASMR, my channel is called Spooky Scary ASMR.
Yeah.
So also, if you are listening to this on YouTube, thank you again to the person who left the comment.
Yeah, this is very nice. Apparently we were recommended on YouTube for them.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
That's
Thanks, man.
actually fun. I love seeing the algorithm push our stuff on there.
Thanks, algorithm.
So if you're listening to this on YouTube, all of our links that we suggested are going to be in the description. And if you enjoyed today's episode, give the video a like and consider subscribing to us.
Please do. And I'm Lexi. If you want to follow me on Twitch, it's at SemiProEagle. I play a variety of games, and I do draw from time to time lately. I've been in kind of a slump the past couple of days. My mental health kind of went downhill a little bit past couple of days, but I think that's mostly because I was on my period. But I play Skyrim whenever I'm feeling a little down at the dumps. It's my comfort game, and I started a new game for that, and I've had a lot of fun so far. I've played the game countless times. I need help. Please send help. That's don't actually. That's a joke. That's a joke. I'm fine. I promise. But yeah.
Don't worry, I'm making sure she's okay.
Yeah.
Well, trying to, because I'm also trying to make myself okay.
Yeah, we check on each other every day. It's fine.
Oh yeah, we do.
We're okay.
Yeah.
For the most part.
For the most part.
Yes.
Alright, guys. Stay spooky.